You are now listening to You Heard. In today's episode of You Heard, we are joined by Jaina, who goes into depth about the importance of family ties and the way in which you communicate with each other as a family in order to set the tone of how you want the future to be for the next generation.
On today's episode of You Heard, we are joined by Jay, a good friend of mine that I met at the birthing place, which is a midwifery place where we both gave birth to our children a couple of months apart. And she just had this awesome vibe. I remember meeting her for the first time during one of our group prenatals with the FUA. And I was just like, okay, like, I want to be friends with her. Like, how do I become friends with her? And she would always used to come with her mom, and she was very cheerful. And I just always loved her vibe. So I was like, I definitely have to have this beautiful, amazing, intelligent woman on to tell her story and to just share her vibe with the You Heard community. So welcome, Jay.
Hello. Hello, everybody. Hello. Wow. Thank you for the amazing introduction. If y'all would have seen the one I had before. Wow. No, I'm super excited to be here. So I'm Jay. I am originally from Los Angeles, California. I grew up there for all of my life. I've been living in Houston since 2018, I believe now. Me and Natalia, honestly, like she said, we met at the birthing place, and I think it was almost like immediate. I said, she's not from here. And I think she knew I was not either. And I was like, yeah, we're going to be friends. And then it was coast to coast. That's my thing right now with her. I said, we are two opposite coasts, but we are somehow connected. And I told you earlier, I had listened to the episode with you and your mom, and that just made me even more feel closer to you. I'm like, and what are we? I think we're like 4 years apart, but I feel like we're like neck and neck. She feels like home, you guys.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate
not a lot of
that.
people. Oh my God, you do. Not a lot of people I can say that about out here. It feels like a familiar face. It feels like a friend from middle school, elementary school, high school is a little but you know,
right.
it feels, you know, it feels good. Today, my topic that I wanted to talk about, it's the importance of family, the strong emphasis on the parent and child relationship. Similar to Natalia, I have a very, very close relationship, basically a friendship with my mother. I've always lived with her. I have I have 5 siblings. I'm one of 6. And I've lived with a few of them here and there, but it's always definitely been me and my mom together. And so, you know, having a child now, I might, and it's not a girl, I have a little boy, but still wanting to have that same close relationship. It's very important to me. 2007 is the year that my grandmother had passed away on my mom's side. And my mom doesn't have a really large family. It's kind of like she has had 2 brothers. One passed away as well, but you know, her 2 brothers and my grandfather, and then sort of family spread out, but not really like a large family, not a lot of kids in the family. So her as basically the matriarch of the family, when she passed away, it kind of made everything dissipate. And as far as me and my mom, we came dislocated for a while. I did not live in the same house for more than a year for like 6 years.
Wow.
Yes, we moved around so much. And I said the thing of it, I said, and that was the family portion. I said, it never felt like I wasn't at home wherever I was at because I was with my mom. It was a matter of home wasn't a place. It was just who I was with. And so like I said, for 6 years, it was just, you know, moving around couch to couch. Someone has a bedroom, y'all can stay here, you know, until the school year, you know, just different little situations, but never making it like, this is it. This is the end. This is how I'm gonna keep living, you know, for the rest of my life. Like, you know, it wasn't the end. In that situation, after my grandmother passed and getting dislocated, it got kind of awkward with my family, with my mom's dad, because it was like, I think maybe, I might have been 12. And in the years growing up, you know, 13, 14, 15, you know, you develop a little attitude because you're getting older. And there's, you know, it's just too big of a generational gap. You know, she's 70 years old, I'm 15, and it was like, she's got a bad attitude. And it's like, you know, had he known then, and even myself, I said, it was just me growing up. You know what I mean? It was a part of me growing. It was a part of me becoming an adult. It was never really an attitude. It was, and that's the thing, I'm a very stern person. I said what I said. So it's like, you're not going to make me be like, take it back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That whole thing, it kind of made me look at things with, you know, I said the people you call family a little different. it kind of pushed us away. So it really turned into just like the Jane and Jaina show.
Mm.
And, you know, I mean, everywhere together. Like I think your mom was saying you used to be with like your grandmother and, you know, out with her and her friends. That was literally me and my mom and her friends. Anytime she was going somewhere, it was like, can I bring Jaina? You know what I mean? It's a whole bar. Can I bring Jaina? I said, bring me. So, you know, and that alone, it brought me up. It made me grow up a different way compared to my siblings. And even telling them stuff now, I'm like, there's a lot of things that they don't look at, because I said, you know, we were all growing up differently. We all had a different upbringing. So even like my brother, he lived with us partially, and then he ended up moving with my dad. And when he moved with my dad, usually hope that when a young man goes to move with his father, it's for the best. I don't want to say it was for the best or the worst. I think it just wasn't really productive for a young man. My grandmother used to literally, she, you know, took care of us because my mother was working. So, you know, pick us up from school, everything. So we had a very, very close relationship with her, and losing her was very difficult. I was able to, because I still live with my mom. So the school I was going to, they were aware, you know what I mean, of the loss. And so I was able to get counseling briefly. My brother, who went with my dad is was in the service. You could probably assume what counseling he got. None. He went straight from that, and then it was like this punishment thing, because he, you know, his grades and stuff. So you know, it was, this is the portion, I guess, for the parent-child relationship. For me, I feel like my dad could have used his time with him, you know what I mean, a little more differently. And I get the whole being in the service thing, but it's like, that's another, I guess, one of those, oh my God, one of those conscious decisions, because it was just like, I mean, that relationship there, and even it kind of trickled into my other brothers. They were lucky enough to end up back with their mom. They didn't stay for long, but my brother was basically there up until, I think, from middle school to high school, basically.
It's trying times.
And those, again, those are formative years, you know what I mean? And not even the moving around, because I think they moved like maybe 2 or 3 times. So it wasn't like you were doing, and it wasn't like no cross country move. It was up and down California, Southern California, not even far, you know what I mean?
Right.
I would have expected that to be more effective than me just going, you know, or you just going to spend time with your dad. When we would go out there, and this is all stuff I've really been just evaluating literally in the past few months, like looking at everything, and I'm like, you know, we would go out there and it wouldn't feel like family time together. You know what I mean? He'd have us all out there, and I said it would be like literally you just brought us out here to look at each other and to say, my kids are here. It's only a weekend. I wish that the times would have been used a little differently to have a better bond, because right now, I said, I feel like we look crazy. You know what I mean? Girl, another sibling popped out. We look crazy right now, and I'm trying to get us to a place, and I'm hoping that I'm like, in my being a parent, and even how I'm handling talking or dealing with my parents, because I said that's the other thing, is them realizing that I'm an adult now. My mother understands it. My father, trying to get them to understand, like, the way I'm raising him is the way I'm raising him.
That's a hard one.
It's a toughie. It, like, I mean, even I think maybe he was 3 or 4 months, and my dad wanted me to come to Miami, and girl, he wanted me to fly Spirit. I couldn't do it.
No.
I said, no, I don't even know why you thought I would do it. That's the more disrespectful part. Like, my mother, if it was the situation of I'm going to visit my mom would know better. Like, we're not even gonna Spirit, girl, for real. You know what I mean? My dad, it's like, but it's what I'm gonna pay for. I say, well, then you don't have to pay for it, dude.
Exactly, because you're paying for the bare minimum for me to be uncomfortable, for your grandson to be uncomfortable, and like,
girl,
technically, it comes out to the same amount as if you were paying for like American or Delta. Exactly, because you have to, or Southwest. That's true, because you have to pay like $75 for your damn carry-on. No, thank you,
girl. I said. And I said, you think I'm gonna just bring a carry-on for my 3-month-old? Oh my God.
Right.
Hilarious.
Right.
Hilarious. This is a part of him trying to get back into being, you know, a civilian with the rest of us, because the rest of us ain't flying. I said, you can get your other kids on that Spirit flight. I ain't doing it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's a certain standard, and it's a point where it's like, okay, well, then we're just not gonna do that then. You know, I'm not gonna go back and forth with you about it. And I don't have to do it. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
and it's you thinking that I have to is what's going to make this harder. You know what I mean? You have to realize that I'm an individual. And again, like I said, I'm an adult. And now I'm an adult with a child. So I definitely,
Yeah.
when I say I'm doing this is what it is. It's not negotiable. That's the thing. I'm like talking to people. I said, I feel like people think that when I'm talking about my son, they like I'm talking about somebody else's kid. I said, this is literally my child, y'all. So I
Right.
have to, I have to really make serious decisions. Any hoozle. Moving down my timeline, 2014. This is when we get into it with my father, and this is when I think that the relationship is there, and I think we're trying to do this parent-child thing, and I
Mm-hmm.
feel close to him for a split second, and then there's always these reminders. So I graduated in 2014 from high school, and initially I was trying to go to school for interior design
Okay.
or event planning. It was one of the two or both. If I could figure
Mm-hmm.
out how to swing them both, I was going to do both. You know what I mean? And my dad, he was, he'd tell me, so one thing does another. So he's, go for what you want to go for, and da 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 da. And then I start picking what I want to go for, and then now we're not paying for it because
Oh, yeah.
that's not a job that's going to, he was trying to get me to be like a dental assistant or hygienist. I said, well, I don't
I don't want to be
know.
in anybody's mouth. Thank you.
I don't
Bye.
want to be in anybody's mouth, like at all. I said, when have I ever even given that idea? Like, what?
Yeah.
So, I said, and me trying to make those decisions, that was like my first time having to like adult and try and put my foot down. And it was difficult, girl, because I was like, I have to do something. I said, I can't
Yeah.
not go to school. And I wasn't working because I had just got out of high school. So I said, I mean, damn, I got to do something. And I mean, it was like a suck it up moment. Granted, I got my little associates.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just like, I didn't do this for me, and it made me sad when I was done with it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I had told him like, oh yeah, and he was all butthurt about it, like, because I graduated and I wasn't gonna walk, but I just did it because I said, you already did it, just go and do the walk.
Right.
And I mean, he flipped a tit, and I was just like, this isn't anything I'm proud. I said, if you want this paper so bad, you can have it, because I said, I'm not impressed with myself with this. I said, because this isn't something I wanted to do. I just did it because I started, and I like to finish what I start. But that was like my time where it was just like, I can't keep making decisions to make you happy or to get
Mm-hmm.
something from you. I get you, you paid for it, but if it was a matter of paying for it or actually doing what I wanted to do, you know what I mean? I would have
Yeah.
made a different decision, or I would have moved differently about my decision making, because I said I rushed, and that made me really sad. It makes me sad to this day. Like, I really wish I spent those 2-3 years differently. But if you could have really talked to me about, the transition, because I said they did not make it realistic, the transition from high school to college. They made it seem like everyone
Absolutely.
goes to a 4-year. Everyone does.
Mm-mm.
And it was like, oh, everyone doesn't, and everyone can't afford to. And that
Absolutely.
was even the other part. He was thinking that paying for the tuition was like, all right, you're good. I said, no,
Nope.
baby boy. What?
We got
I have
books.
to. We got books. We got to live somewhere. I
Yep.
gotta eat. And I said, I don't know how everywhere is, but I said, I know Cal State for sure. You have to pay for a meal plan, because
Yep.
they not doing that. He didn't eat. He start. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's food is an option here. So it was like, yeah, buddy, no. And so now everyone's all gung ho, like, when you gonna go back to school? I said, I'll go back when I know what I want to do. I'm not gonna rush
Yeah.
to go back because y'all think that going to, and that's the thing, everyone thinks me going to school is the answer to all of
It isn't.
my financial problems, and it's like, it's really not. Because I said, how long do you think it's going to take for me to actually get through school,
Yep.
get through experience, and then actually get into the position for the dollar amount you think I'm going to get?
Absolutely. As somebody who has a degree and did it with like you have a kid now, you have so many other things that you need to take into consideration, and having to balance all of that is a lot. So I did it without having to worry about anything outside of myself and what my bills were. And like, even that, I can't sit here and say that my bachelor's degree put me in some like amazing position to not be in
Right.
debt, to not financially struggle, to not live paycheck to paycheck at times. Like, shit happens, that's life. And I know people who have a PhD that still are having a hard time making money. And like,
Girl.
a degree is not going to solve anything. A job is not going to solve anything. It really is like, like the whole point that you're making with all of this is with the, you know, you got your associates, but you were sad about it because you invested your energy in some shit that you didn't even want to do. So
Pretty much.
for me, the way that I understand it, and from my own experience, is that the times where you put your energy into things that you want to invest your energy into and you want to invest your time into, that's the stuff that's going to reap benefits.
That
So
is.
yeah, like
Ah,
I
yes.
went to college because I thought I had to. It's not that I wanted to. I thought I had to. My mom said that I had to. And, you know, my mom doesn't have a degree and she has her own struggles because, you know, nowadays you have to have a fucking master's degree to do anything.
Yes, man.
And yeah, so she felt like this is your way out of having a better life, of having more choices. And yeah, I guess I have more choices to a certain extent, but I don't attribute the choices that, or the options that I have to do things, to me getting a college education. I just think
Right.
it's my fucking wit. Like
Yeah.
my
No,
street
literally.
smarts, yeah, like what I bring to the table takes me a lot further than this like piece of paper that I busted my ass for four
Girl,
years and
you
like am
will
a shit ton of debt. So I could tell
you'll
you that ain't
never
the
hear
answer.
me talk about a muscle group again. Okay. I have a associates in kinesiology. I ain't
uh,
talked about muscles since
right,
2017.
right,
I
right.
don't ask me none of them questions. You know what I mean? The
Mm-hmm.
best I can tell you is to rest, ice, compression, and elevate. That's all
Hey.
I got. Being in present time, I'm like, it's this back and forth thing. I said, do I get a, I said, do I get a trade now? Like,
Mm-hmm.
because I can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna just go get like a regular degree. I said, I need something that, with my hands, and it's money after, a couple months, 6 months,
Yeah.
a year. You know what I mean? And the trying to figure that out. And I said, it's funny watching, this dynamic between me and my mom. We're kind of in limbo right now
Mm-hmm.
because I said, all right, I'm getting a little older. She ain't old, but she's getting a little older. You know what I
Right.
mean? You're a grandmother. And I'm like, are we about to switch roles? Am
Mm-hmm.
I about to have to, are you going to stay at home with him and I will go out and work? Because I said, you're getting older is the thing. So I
Yeah.
said, you don't need to be, she's a truck driver. You don't need to be
Yeah.
doing this for a long time. You know what I mean? You
Mm-hmm.
need to sit down. You need to spend this time with him. She's in, I think, like Illinois right now. She's broken up, okay, about being
Yeah.
away from him right now. Like, I feel
Oh.
so bad for her. And this is somebody that had no intentions to be a grandmother anytime
Mm-hmm.
soon, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it wasn't like, when I'm gonna get some grandbabies. We were not having any of those talks ever.
Yeah.
So, I'm like her accepting it for me because I said we're both so like I just want to support you, but we're like that for
Yeah.
each other. You know what I mean? Like I just
Mm-hmm.
want to take care of you. And I'm like, you've been taking care of me, mom. You can't keep paying for stuff for me. You know what I mean? Or
Mm-hmm.
buying things because I said I have to do it myself and I can't just expect that, well, if I don't have it, someone's gonna do it for me. I said, I know that you want to, and I know you want me to, I see things I want or I want to have or whatever, but I said, if I accept if I can't afford it, we just not gonna have it right now.
Right. Yeah.
It's not, and it's never like we're not gonna have it at all. It's just for me. I said I know it's not right now. I said I know I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
have the things I want. It's just not going to be when I want them. I can't wait to teach him that. Oh my god.
Yeah. It's such a
um,
great lesson. My
it
mom is the same exact way of like, well, let me buy you this. And I'm just like, Ma, I can buy it myself just like maybe in 6 months. Like I
yeah,
have a plan, but right now
yeah,
isn't for it. But I think it's that sense of instant gratification, and we're their kid. And because you said that your relationship is similar to the relationship I have with my mom, they want to see us happy. They want to give us
yeah.
this momentary sense of gratitude because they truly just adore and love who we are, and that's their like little sense of worship towards their
It
daughter.
is, and
Mm-hmm.
that's so funny. That's what I've been picking up. I'm like, she loves me. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, but you know what I mean. It's just like, oh my god, you love me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it just, I mean, even I said the conversations that we have, and I'm like, even I'm like, I've started to have them with my siblings a little more. I'm a little more open with my conversations. So,
Yeah.
you're gonna hear about me having some sex every blue moon or something. You know
Hey.
what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
y'all know I had a baby somehow, right? Okay.
Right.
So we're not gonna sit here and act like we 12 or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to tell my brothers, like, look here, I'm beyond y'all. Okay, so relax.
Right.
But even with my mom, I said it's been so funny. I said we've been having these conversations, and it's like I'm understand a lot of stuff. I thought like, damn, is this just like me? Is this just how I am? And I'm learning, no, it's my mother. It's
Yep.
all coming from my mother. Like I said, oh my God, Lord have mercy. That's crazy. I said, it's not just me. Cool, 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 cool. I mean, but it's nice. I said it's nice to be open in that way with her.
Yeah.
I've never, and that was the thing I had told. I said I remember. I remember when my mom found out I was having sex,
Mm-hmm.
and her neighbor grew up together, and then me and his son kind of grew up together a little bit, and
Mm-hmm.
eventually started dating or whatever. And I was at his house because I lived in San Diego, and his dad found out, we were having sex or whatever, and
Right.
he was about to call my mom. And I think from that day on, that was like, nope, this is it. I said, there is nothing my mother is going to find out about me from anybody but me.
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
said, if she has to hear this, she could hear it from my mouth. Like, there's
Mm-hmm.
no, you know what I mean? I'm like, because I think one of my brothers, he tried to be like, oh, I'm gonna tell her. I said, what you gonna tell her that I'm doing it? I said, she already knows
Yeah.
that. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it's like
Yeah.
you cannot one up me with this lady. You know what I mean? We in there, we're tight.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I see there, even in that whole thing, me and the relationship that we have, I'm like, for my brother more so too, I'm like, I know he wants that relationship. And I said the other side of it is having to understand it is two women, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like, with the relationship I have with Julian, I have to remind myself he is a young man still, you know what I mean? He's a little boy.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that there's going to be things I wouldn't know how to make you comfortable. And it's not to say little boys or boys don't talk to their moms and stuff, but I want you to feel comfortable that you can talk to me. That
Absolutely.
you don't feel like it has to be a man to, and I'm gonna respect certain man to man talks. You know what I mean? But you understand you can still talk to me. And that's actually, I'm just gonna say this real quick. Like, I have no intentions. I have to tell people this, when I'm dating and stuff. Like, I am not looking to be my son's father. I want
Yeah.
to respect that I'm his mother and he's my son, and that he
Mm-hmm.
has a father, you know what I mean? Present or not, however, but he has a father.
Right.
And understanding that those are, yes, two different relationships, but the respect is still the same.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes I've never heard anybody say that, and I appreciate you saying that, having grown up in a single parent household
Mm-hmm.
and being the eldest of two. And I mean, you heard in the episode with me and my mom that I kind of took the role on as her other parent,
Mm-hmm.
and no one should ever have to feel obligated to
Be
be
both.
exactly, to be both, or to step in for where somebody else is
Is
either choosing not to step in or maybe can't step in because of
right.
whatever reason it may be. Like, you need to be the most fullest you can't be the full you and then full somebody else.
Exactly, because
Mm-hmm.
it's that's not even what we were set up for. There's, you know what I mean.
Right.
There's no way someone said have a baby with somebody, but you go be both people. What?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's
Mm-hmm.
no. So yeah, no. That's honestly, I said it's like it's difficult because I said I'm like when my brother comes around him, I said, and it's crazy what a man's voice does. I said he reacts immediately to when my brother speaks to him. If I
Mm.
say something, now he
They
needs a
look at you,
hearing
they
aid.
laugh.
Girl, look and laugh and think but you know what I mean? So I said, and I said that alone showed me the importance of, there being a man present, especially in a little boy's life. I said, because look at
Mm-hmm.
how the reaction is different. Now we gonna work on that reaction being the same, obviously.
Right. Right.
But I'm like, this is, to hear it is not enough, to see it is like, well, there it
Hmm.
is. You know what I mean? Like, man, I need the family thing to turn around. I got the first grandkid over here, the first nephew thing going on. So, I'm not
Right.
pressuring anybody to have some kids, but it'd be nice,
Right.
if, because I'm like, we're at the age. I said, my oldest brother is almost 30 years old. So I said,
Mm-hmm.
the family is starting over from here now. We're the next generation up, you know what I mean, to
Right.
get things going. And you know what I mean? And I said, I'm excited for it personally. I said, I would like
Mm-hmm.
I would like to have, the nice family home. And I said, the thing about my mom is she's so damn friendly. So I said, she don't really, I said, like my dad's family, she invite everybody over. My dad be acting so
Right.
funny too, but she would come on, drinks, everything. So I said, we want to have the house where we have the
Mm.
family events, you know what I mean? And people come over here because they know it feels like home. It doesn't feel like you're visiting someone's house, you know what I mean? It feels like
Yes.
a familiar place you can always go to, you know what I mean? Like that's how we, she's always been like, I always wanted a big house because it ain't but us three. But she's like,
Right.
even in case someone just needed somewhere to go, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? You have a family, man, and that's we've just been broke all the time, but that's how we feel, guys. I swear,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like
Absolutely.
I feel all these things inside, and it's like I don't know how I'm going to get to them, but I know that that's the overall goal.
The whole idea of having a home that is home for everybody that comes through that door. So like my mom raised me to be that way. Everybody, my mom is like good friends with all of my friends. Like she has her little group of friends, but honestly, she hangs out more with my friends than she does her own friends. And it's because she has created that space of like, you might as well be my child. Like you're family and I love you and I embrace you and know that this door is always open to you. Like we've had friends live with us before. We've had tons of people visit us over time. And like whenever they come to New York, that's the place that they always go to because it does feel
Mm-hmm.
like home. And
Mm-hmm.
home back in New York isn't anything special. It's some rinky dinky apartment in Queens. Like
Girl.
it's not like we have like 15 bedrooms or a nice house or a backyard. It's like no, but somehow some way it feels like home to the people that walk through. And I know that my mom got that from her grandmother. So like you, her grandmother was the matriarch, or her grandparents were the matriarch and patriarch of the family of the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
And when I think of
I love that.
yeah,
Oh
me
my God. I
too,
literally
right?
I want him to have neighborhood friends and go to someone's house down the street. And I'm gonna say a stoop, girl, like we in fucking New York. We're not in New York. But
Yes.
you know what I mean? Like go sit on the
Listen,
porch or
I'm a stoop
something.
girl, so I understand exactly, like
Go
the porch or whatever it
yeah,
may
you know what I
be.
mean? Like I want that for him. I do, and I'm like even more so. I'm like I want him to have cousins to grow up with. I want him to feel like family is around. I said even with
Yeah,
the relationship with my brothers and stuff. I said because I have four brothers, so I said he should not feel short of an uncle at all.
exactly.
I said the relationships that we have with our uncles. I said even now, I said I don't even think my dad has a good relationship with my uncle. Because he
Mm,
was like he didn't even know. Girl, my stepmom moved out, but he was like he didn't even know that. I'm like that happened months ago. Like I said,
wow,
y'all
yeah.
don't talk at all. Wow.
Mm,
And I said, even just the relationship we had, I think when I was briefly dislocated before I moved to Houston, I was just like, can I stay here for a couple days? And it was like, oh, no. And that was kind of the end of it. And I said, damn, I hope when I have a child, I said, and my son or child needs somewhere to stay, I hope that their uncle says, you're good. Come on. You know what I mean? I said, you got this big house
exactly.
and you're going to leave your niece out here. Okay, damn. It's like that. You really
Right.
don't fuck with my dad then, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so, I said, I don't want that relationship. I said, he has plentiful uncles, you know what I mean? Plentiful men in his life to step up if need be. I hope that I'm not telling nobody to be his dad. I'm just asking you to be a man and see a need and meet a need.
Right.
Because I can't do it. I literally physically cannot be a man to him.
Right. Right.
There's nothing I can do to myself. I can put on all the bondage wraps on my chest and deep
Mm-hmm.
voice I want. You know what I mean? It's funny trying to do the deep voice thing anyways. It don't work. So I stopped doing it. People be like, you got to put some bass in your voice. I said, no, I don't.
He
um,
still knows it's you, and it just doesn't matter.
he knows, right? Like he can see me talking.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like I think it's having a child now. It makes me feel like, and I'm like, not like I didn't want to have my family around before, but I'm just like I can't short him the
Yeah.
experience because it can be a good one. I know, I remember times when, me and my family had good times and stuff together, but I was
Yeah.
super little. I said, I don't want it to just be when you're little. You know what I mean? And when you
Mm-hmm.
get older, it's kind of like, don't nobody talk no more. No, I see people who are close with their family. You know what I mean? Cousins and
Yeah.
uncles and we have these great big things, and I want to have great big things, guys.
Exactly. Yeah, like
I
let's do the
I
family reunion and all of that other stuff.
and
And
I'm like a real family because okay, so my family's talking about doing one, but I said, I don't know, y'all. This doesn't seem like it's gonna be a family reunion.
mm,
I said, maybe y'all need to let us plan this. And I'm like, and it's not for it to get, raunchy or anything, but for it to be fun. Y'all are a little up there. Y'all haven't done fun in a long time.
yeah.
Okay. You don't know what the good times are anymore. And I'm here to bring them back for everybody.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And like, so girl, I do want to do a family reunion too. And it's like, I want a family reunion like when my friends come, y'all friends come. You know what I mean? Like a for
Yes.
real
Yes.
reunion. Like, because I'm like, I know people that have known, me for a while. They know my family. They've, a lot of people met after I had Julian,
Mm-hmm.
like around the time, because I had a friend, her and her mom, girl, her and her mama flew out for the baby. I said, and of course,
Oh.
he didn't come. He came out as they got to the airport. I felt so bad.
Oh my goodness.
I said, he's coming. Well, he's out. But you guys are at
Yeah.
the airport, so we're good.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, I have people that I'm very close to. I said I have more friends that feel like family than relatives,
Yes.
which I wish would be different, but I said I have to accept what it is. You know what I mean? It's
It's
cool.
your
Family's
chosen family.
it's your chosen family. You know what I mean? And I'm fine with that because y'all chose me and I chose y'all back.
For me, it's very much that our family isn't big anymore. It used to be big.
Mm-hmm.
And people unfortunately die off and pass away, or you
Mm-hmm.
just move away or don't talk to each other, or some other bullshit.
Right.
So for me, I understand this kind of sense of yearning of having Cecilia around her family, and my family is my chosen family mixed with the family that we do have back up northeast, and that's why we've considered, or not really considered, we have committed to the idea of moving back up north. The base of our family, that whole group, that is, we're gonna have a bunch of different houses that feel like home, is
Mm-hmm.
all back up north. Like I have a set of friends, they're a couple, and they're buying a house this summer, and
Oh wow.
it's a huge, exactly, like it's a huge deal because we're all pretty much around the same age.
Mm-hmm.
And we all come from very similar backgrounds, and it's kind of like, all right, like they made it so we can make it. Like they're buying their house, so we'll be
Mm-hmm.
able to buy our house soon too. And like the other friends that are there, we're talking about what we still need to do to get there, and we can't wait for them to buy their house. And we're talking about like creating a movie theater but outside, and like all these different arts and
Oh
crafts that we
my
want to do
God.
with all of our kids together. And
That is amazing.
exactly,
And
and
that's
just
and
like
that's how I feel with like my friends. And I'm like, a lot of the friends I
mm-hmm,
have right now, I only made them, I think, like my junior year of high school because I had switched schools. But it's like, no, I like y'all a lot because I kept
mm-hmm,
talking to you after we graduated. So I obviously, you
yeah,
know what I mean?
from
Obviously
high
I like
school.
you from high school, right? Because
Yeah,
I ain't even know them people there. You know what I mean? Like I just
right,
met you
right.
all. Most of y'all I met my senior year, so you lucky we still could. Even when they come, and like you were saying, like you have friends that go to your, I'm like, girl, we live in a 1 bedroom apartment. You would swear we had a three at least. The way we'd be like, oh, come on, come
Yeah,
over. What? I got a twin size air mattress and a queen. Pick the one you want. You know what
hey,
I mean? I got options. I'm
right,
not gonna just. And that's the thing too. It's the standard of when you come. It's not like it's janky. You know what I mean? Like
right.
you're gonna
You're
be
gonna do it up.
comfortable. Yeah, no, I'm gonna do
Mm-hmm.
it up. You know what I mean? I for sure put a whole bed set on an air mattress. I
I'm so
did.
here for it. I believe you.
You
I
know,
love
I
that.
said, make you feel at home. Shit. I mean,
Yeah.
that's how you would do it, right? We ain't gonna throw the sheet on the
Mm-hmm.
mat. No, 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 no. We are talking about relocating, and it's like, damn, then we really ain't gonna have nobody. Just we got them right there. But it's like if we move again, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
Are
just,
you looking to stay in Texas still, or
ooh,
you're
no. We're well right now.
Listen, I feel that energy. I feel that energy. So don't feel guilty.
Girl, no, we were initially, we were like, we were going to move to a house,
Mm-hmm.
from where we're at now, like rent a house. But as we've started to learn in this journey, and not a lot of houses out here are like just for rent. It's mostly like lease to own or rent to
Yeah.
own.
Yeah.
And so we're like, okay, well, I said, then we could just pick a different apartment because I can't live in this one anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So we are looking at different apartments, but overall, she's really seriously considering Georgia.
Okay.
Which I'm cool with personally. I said at this point, when you move so many times, you really don't get picky about I don't want to move. You know what I mean?
Right.
You will pretty much
Mm-hmm.
go anywhere, and you realize like I said, it's not really about where you're at. It's kind of just who you're with.
Exactly.
And so I said, and again, I have a couple friends out there, so it wouldn't be completely just us. But I said, hey, whatever you want to do, let's pack it up,
That's
because
exciting.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, I don't want to say we love moving. Don't nobody love moving, but I said it's
Right.
it's an adventure every time. I think Georgia is where she would like to end up now. If she told me she want to move state again, I mean I'm not against it, but I'm like, okay,
Right.
girl, okay.
So you can find your permanent spot. I understand that, like,
Exactly. I want
that angst.
I,
Yeah.
I want part. Yeah, I want it to be part. I say I know people like to move around, but I said I want to sit because the other thing is I said it allows me to get into things I want to do. When we have some permanence and where this is where I'm at,
Yeah.
I can commit and do things that I really want to do. I said because when we keep moving around, it's like I'll wait till we sit still.
Right.
But yeah, no,
Mm-hmm.
the move is, girl, it's on the way because I can't do Texas. Sorry, Texas, if y'all listening.
Preach. Yes. Love Texas. It's been good to us for the past 3 years, but we have other ventures that we feel will be fostered a bit better elsewhere.
Oh yeah, she said fostered a
Mm-hmm.
bit better else. I
That is
know
the
where
most
I'm at.
politically correct, politest way I could say that.
She said, after reading the room, I have discovered
But actually,
I'm gonna go ahead and take my talents elsewhere.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it's been, it's done with it and I needed it to do. I'm not gonna act like it didn't.
Right.
I said, when I said the job I was doing before, I said I probably never in my life would have taken a job going over the road when I was living in California because I would have been just like, I don't want to leave California. But I was so
Right.
ready to be like, I could leave Texas. I took that job in a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it definitely opened me up in that way. Like I'm not against this, this moving around and seeing the different states and really seeing states, not like the basic ones. I went to like I was in a whole storm before we had a storm, girl. I said, this is
Oh my
nothing. This
goodness.
is nothing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Texas. Hey, y'all did your job, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Put y'all mask back
Mm-hmm.
on.
Yes. Yeah. And socially distance and go get yourself vaccinated
I'll
and
get
have a good
yourself
day.
vaccinated, okay? Wash your hands.
Please. Please.
Lysol it up.
Oh my goodness. So I appreciated just that realness of the importance of family and like being able to evaluate, all right, this isn't where I want it to be, but knowing where you want it to go and why that's important, especially for your son. Like I can relate so much with like now having a kid. Like yes, family has always meant so much to me and they have a sense of value in my chosen family as well. But now even more it's like I need to be with you guys. And like you
Yeah.
said, like it isn't about where I am, it's about who I'm around. And yes, I love the people that I am around now and it's my cute, quaint, very small community,
Mm-hmm.
but I have a very large community elsewhere that raising a kid takes a village and I
Yes.
want my village back. I miss my village. I
I,
miss my people.
man,
And given they're all trying to live in New Jersey and Jay, I hate New Jersey. So if
do you
anybody
really?
that's listening is from New Jersey, I love you, but anybody that knows me knows I hate New Jersey. I'm from New York City. Jersey is trash.
She
But
said Jersey is trash.
but
Y'all,
I love my people from NJ, so don't get offended. But I don't want to move there. But all of my friends are going to be there, so we considered Philly since that was like a good medium. It's not too far from where they're going to be living in Jersey. It's not too far from my family in New York,
right.
and my partner's family is there. So I felt like it was a good
It's a happy medium.
location.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
we'll see how it goes. But it's about being surrounded by the people that just really make life exciting and worth living.
Yeah.
Um, so I understand that vibe completely. Is there
Yeah.
anything that you want the audience to walk away from in regards to your topic?
To have gathered this much, use the time and really, really don't just be like a body, don't just be a vessel, like actually be present. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it can be very easy to not be. I mean, even with just your phone, like literally, just be present as much as you can. And even just with your family, more so too. I mean, if you guys aren't cool, get cool now. You know what I mean? Try to get cool, try to resolve it. times are getting funny. And you're
Yeah.
going to need somebody, even if it's your friends too, your friends that are your family, you know what I mean? Bring some resolve to it, because this is a time where, building tribes, whether you have kids or not, just overall people, you can call, depend on if you need anything, a penny, literally. You have someone you can call on, because you don't know when they're gone. We really have to appreciate them.
You are now listening to You Heard.